As a therapist, one of my favourite films of all time is Encanto, and in particular, Luisa's character and her song about needing to be strong and look after everybody else and not let anybody down. So this strikes me in two ways. One, thinking about my oldest daughter, but also thinking about my clients. So if you find yourself feeling like you are responsible for everybody else and you find yourself trying to care for everyone and do everything and be the one that organises everybody, this might strike some chords for you. So a couple of the lyrics are absolutely bang on the money. So give it to your sister. Your sister's older. Give her all the heavy things we can't shoulder. And pretty brutally, I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can't be of service. Now, this is something that I see all the time in my work and that I'm trying to help people undo. So actually, what we're often doing when we're trying to take responsibility for everybody else is, that's my role. That is the function I had in my family. So that's quite common for oldest girls. So Luisa is the oldest girl in a family environment where the expectations are very high and she is expected to take on a lot of responsibility. It's not always the oldest. There's exceptions to that, but typically older children are kind of more prone to feeling that because even from a very young age, they are praised or expected to look after their siblings. Like, oh, isn't that good that you've been kind to her? And trying to be understanding from like 5 years old, we're asking them to almost take on an adult perspective and say, look, they're just younger than you. So the youngest get away with stuff and they are praised for looking after. So as an adult, often what I'm trying to help people do is recognize that that's the habit they're in, the kind of pattern that they're in, and try and allow themselves to break out of that, that maybe it is okay to not do everything for everybody anymore. Maybe that's all right. Let's see if we can test that out. When I'm thinking about it as a parent, so my eldest is already naturally a very kind person and considerate person. And on top of that, she's going to get all the stuff from us about, aren't you a good girl for looking after your siblings? That was really kind that you were understanding there. Thank you for helping, that kind of stuff. And the word that I've got in my head is flexibility. So patterns like this are only a problem if there's no flexibility. I must carry everything, which is how Luisa feels, otherwise I'm a failure. That's rigid. It's good to help other people, but it's also important to look after myself. That's flexible. And that's what I want to build in my daughter. So what that means for me is every now and then I have to just let her get away with her own stuff. And I have to praise her for spending time on herself. And I have to back her. So if she says, no, I want to play with this toy, I'm not giving it to you, younger sister, I go, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Good for you. That's what I'm thinking about.